Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Klustar! Well, I'm gonna have to dock this game a few points for spelling. Klustar is a puzzle game released in 2001 for Game Boy Color, but backwards compatible for the Game Boy. But the real interesting story is when you look at the publisher and developer. Let's start with the publisher, Infogrames. If the name sounds familiar, it's because it's very possible you've played games with their name attached before. Whether it be Alone in the Dark, Backyard Sports, Unreal Tournament, or Putt-Putt, Infogrames has had their hand in numerous titles over the years, and in fact are still around in the form of Atari SA. Meanwhile, the developer is Rebellion Developments. Founded by Jason and Chris Kingsley in their basement in the UK, Rebellion has since grown to a much larger company, and is still releasing games to this day, such as the Sniper Elite series, Never Dead, and most recently a VR puzzle adventure game called Arca's Path. But in the early days, they worked on things such as the Game Boy Color port of Worms Armageddon, and licensed titles such as Mission Impossible and Alien vs. Predator. So Klustar has quite the pedigree behind it. Hopefully this partnership works out well. Man, all this backstory, we haven't even looked at the game yet. The cover reveals that this is a game about, something. It just kind of looks like blocks hurtling through a void. That could literally describe any puzzle game that's ever existed. Well, we know about the companies, but what about the game itself? Time to check out Klustar. Infogrames. And Bruno Bunnell. Who's Bruno Bunnell? I know who Rebellion is, but, whatever. Klustar! Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Game Boy Color was capable of better music than this. And a better title screen, or any sort of title, whatever. Klustar! Trademark. Well, let's go. Oh, music's gone. Well, it looks like a puzzle game, alright. Shape size at like 1 Tetris piece, please. Direction? What is this game? Whatever. Let's start at level 1. What kind of collapse do I want? I don't know. That's rather a philosophical question. Yeah, we'll just collapse like that and start with that dot. As opposed to the Sinistar down here. Go. Tetris? Is that you? What am I playing? Okay, I can rotate, put it there. Ah! I guess that's what they meant by collapse. I am a little perplexed here. So it's Tetris from either side. More dimensions of Tetris, and your goal is to get squares instead of lines. Well, I'm not gonna call it boring yet, but it's... I'm just a little baffled this exists. Where seldom is heard a discouraging word and the skies are not cloudy all day. Why this song? You know, for a Game Boy Color game, I'm a little shocked at the lack of, well, anything. Game Boy Color was capable of a lot of pretty amazing stuff, and this game is taking advantage of basically none of it. Why home on the range? This is actually bothering me now. Ta-da! I want to play around with some of the other modes. It's not terrible. I'm just utterly perplexed at its existence. I found the fun. Alright, let's see what happens when you get a game over. Bam. Oh! No, I'm trying to lose, you fool. Oh, that's actually kind of neat. You can't... It doesn't let you rotate if you're too swollen with block. Again, this was technically on Game Boy Color, which is really surprising because Game Boy Color was capable of so much, which this game is not taking advantage of at all. This game could probably be on Atari. Game over. Alright, let's play around with more modes. Yes, my name is What's type 2? And let's go from both sides. And let's do level 5. I couldn't help but notice Type 2 looks remarkably like Type 1. What's the difference between Type 1 and Type 2? Alright, I'm really gonna try to find the difference, but I'm not seeing it. Oh my god, this is it. This is the whole game. Whoa! Oh! Is that the difference? Sometimes the pieces are weird and gross? That's the only difference I could find. I mean, again, I'm not hating it, but it's because I'm such a diehard Tetris fan. But in terms of gameplay, it's probably the absolute most bare-bones game I've ever played on Game Boy Roulette. There's nothing to it. There's one... Ooh, that's bad. There's one song. There's one type of gameplay, as far as I can tell. Can I do this? Oh, I tried to T-spin. That's right, I know the Tetris lingo. I'm gonna keep playing around with modes, but... Actually, you know what? No. I want to go see if I can find what Type A versus Type B is. Okay, I've done some research, and no one else seems to know either. Wait, game Type 2. But that was Type 2. Where's my high score? Is it just a scoring thing? I can't tell. We're going all the way, baby. Big collapse, big start size. Let's do this. Oh, I hate everything. It's not the worst idea. It's a fun little twist on Tetris, but when it's so much worse than Tetris, and Tetris had so much more going for it, why even bother with this one? Tetris had different modes, Tetris had better music, Tetris had better gameplay, Tetris had a rocket sometimes. Long. Oh god. Oh, that's probably problematic. I don't know, this whole game, like I said, just kind of perplexes me. Why would you play this when Tetris is right there and does everything better? Yeah, maybe Tetris is only from one direction, but that's kind of the joy of it, you know? Bam. Aha! Combo! Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a little lost for words here. I can't really think of anything else to say about this game. Klustar is weird. And feels unnecessary? If they'd put some more work into all the different, you know, aspects of the game, you know, better background, better music, better gameplay, better everything, might be more into it. I guess what I'm saying is if they had made a better game, I think I would have liked it. It's just... It just is, you know? It just is. Well, apparently neither company brought their A game, or even their D game. I don't think I've ever seen such a stripped-down, bare-bones Game Boy Color game in my life. Game Boy Color games could be incredibly detailed with fun gameplay and great music and graphics, but Klustar had absolutely none of it. The game could have fit on Game Boy, or even Atari, what with its Casio keyboard music and its ultra-simplistic graphics, and its gameplay that could have been replicated with a single button and a control stick. But putting all that aside, just looking at the gameplay, it was so limiting. The idea of Tetris from all sides is certainly a fun concept that could be expanded upon, but the package the game comes in, with the severe lack of modes, is so completely unremarkable I couldn't get into the game. Maybe with more detail, graphics, music, really, maybe with more everything, I could probably get into this game, but as it stands, it became completely forgettable. Klustar had potential, but when it feels like absolutely no effort was put into it, I just can't recommend it. When you're barely using 1/10 of the Game Boy Color's power, you know something has gone wrong somewhere. Well, that's really all we have to say about the game. Why the hell was Home on the Range playing? And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to subscribe so you can follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy Vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.